we're trying to maximise their return on investment. So what that means is that we are trying to drive more purchasing customers to their website or to their telephone to enable our customers to get more business and drive more business. So we do all of the bits of marketing behind the scenes that get customers to their website, on their telephones, to enable them to sell their products. We can deal with any size of customer. We typically deal with smaller type of customers, 1 or 2, 3, 4 men bands and smaller size businesses with maybe 1 or 2 locations. But we are set up to deal with larger companies also. They require a different approach really. I think that's the key to servicing different customers of different sizes. So a smaller company may need more of a hand-holding in the initial stages of a campaign being built for them. They may not be aware of what search engine marketing is, or some of the principles that we use and talk about every day in the office here will be unfamiliar to them. So they need a lot more help up front at the early stages to set up things for them, to educate them. And the approach would be a bit more personal and one-to-one and a bit more intimate to begin with those guys. But for larger companies that maybe already have an online presence that's relatively successful, or it's in its infancy, if you like, but they have the ground cornerstones in place, then our relationship with them is just going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a bit more strategic, perhaps a lot more effort and energy going into the planning stages.
My favourite customer has to be Gary from Rumbus Packaging. Was one of the very first customers that I ever had as an account manager when I used to work on the SEO side of the company. It was just a joy to work with. Single employee, only worked for himself, had worked for other big packaging companies in the UK previously, so I'd had a lot of experience in the industry, but this was really his first venture in branching out onto his own, and he just had a clear idea of what he wanted his business to do, what he wanted to get from the business, and we sort of came on board at the very start, so with him on that journey as his business grew, and he started to get more customers coming from AdWords. His SEO started to perform really well after a few months of working with us, and he started to really see the fruits of his labour. He was a little bit apprehensive at first, as a lot of people are when they first come on board with a new company, especially if you're doing online marketing like AdWords and SEO, which does take a little bit longer to get results. But after, I would say, 6 months or so, he really started to see the fruits of his labour, and his investment started to pay off, and he started to reap dividends, and he did really, really well over time. And it was a pleasure to work with. Has been a long-standing customer of ours. Had some great conversations with him, and he's had some, big 50,000 plus deals in that time as well. So it's really worked out, and it gives you a nice warm feeling when you see someone doing so well. We've got a wide spectrum of customers that we tend to deal with on a day-to-day basis, and it really does cover the whole sort of spectrum of businesses that you could imagine. We've got customers who do cosmetic surgery to high-end clients in Mayfair. Then we've got customers who do cookies and create cookies for businesses. We also do customers that do branded cupcakes for companies as well. Then we've got organic farms in the middle of Cheshire who specialise in just farm day outs, farm trips out, organic delivery boxes. Strike Right, we're a locally based business, a start-up business in many respects, because it hadn't done anything like this before, and it was selling golfing products online. Obviously knew it was quite a competitive market, but they felt it had a unique product in terms of obviously the market that they're targeting, golf products. They felt it had something different to offer, and they could tie that in with other add-on products as well. So they started the website. They approached us initially to create the website for them, because they hadn't had anything in place previously. So we built them an e-commerce website, an open cart platform. And essentially what we then did is create the website and then tied that in with an AdWords campaign. As the initial strategy, as people obviously would, or it's probably wise that they know, is that once you've started your website, it's worth having an AdWords campaign to tie in with that, because that's going to give you more immediate exposure. If you're going to go down the Google search, the natural search route, it is going to take a lot longer to get the results. But AdWords is quite immediate, especially if you've got a new business. And they've seen some really good results. They're making some great sales, not just in the UK, but internationally as well. So the sales are coming from America, Australia, Canada. So they've had a really global reach. Obviously, with the nature of the business, there's a lot of golfers, throughout the world. So it really seems to have tapped into a multitude of markets as well. Obviously, the business is still very much in its infancy, in its first sort of 18 to 24 months. So it's still growing, still developing, still adding products all the time. But obviously, we're on that journey with them, and we're growing helping them grow as a business.